Hi, my name is Ryan, and I am a sloth paleontologist and ecologist, and I need your help to better understand and connect the diets and habitats of fossil ground sloths to their living relatives, the tree sloths. Now, as you might imagine, the most straightforward way to learn about the behavior of an animal is to observe them directly, but in the case of fossils, you can't really do that because they're dead. So instead, we're going to look at the ecology of their closest living relatives, the tree sloths, and see if we can use them as an analog for what their fossil relatives might have been doing when they were alive in the deep past. The problem with studying tree sloths is that they're also really difficult to observe. Let's say you're out walking in a tropical forest and you want to see a sloth, because why wouldn't you want to see a sloth? So you look up and you see something like this. And now you might be saying to yourself, oh, come on, there's no, don't mess with us, there's no sloth in that photo. But there actually is. If we zoom in and then circle this right here, that's the sloth up in the tree. And that really is how difficult they can be to spot from the forest floor. And then this photo might as well be a video, because that sloth might not move or do anything until like tomorrow. So it's not the most efficient or easy way to get information about what these animals are doing. Instead, I want to apply a technique called stable isotope analysis, which will allow us to understand some of the behaviors and diet and habitats of these animals even when we're not observing them directly. The way it works is you literally are what you eat, and I mean that down to an atomic level. So this apple here, if I were to take a bite out of this apple, the atoms of this apple would be incorporated into the atoms of my body and the tissues that are forming right now as I eat this apple. If we then analyze my tissues that formed during the time I was eating this apple, we would see that I was eating something like an apple instead of, say, a steak or an ear of corn. Now, to do this with the tree sloths, I went down to the sloth sanctuary of Costa Rica and worked with my collaborator on this project, Becky Cliff, where we collected stomach contents and tissue samples from over a dozen frozen sloths. And do we have a clip of that? Do we have some footage or no? Nothing? Okay. So I'm being told we don't have any footage of that, but it's probably for the best because it was pretty gross. But now we've got all this really great samples, and we just need to analyze them and unlock the data potential that's in there. And that's where you can come in and where we can use your help. We had to wait for the permits to legally bring the samples out of Costa Rica back into the United States, and we now have those permits. And so one of the things that this project will be used to support is me getting down to Costa Rica, bringing those samples back here to the University of Wyoming, where we can then prepare and analyze them at our stable isotope facility. Now, running a sample at the stable isotope facility costs money. We want to run hundreds of samples, and each of those samples is going to cost, a little more than $5 to run. And so all these little donations will go directly towards getting one of those samples analyzed and unlocking some of the data stored in those tissues, so we can learn a lot more about the ecology of the sloths and how we can apply that understanding to similar types of data from the fossil record. If you donate to this project, we'll keep you up to date on everything with project updates, as well as you'll have our immense gratitude for being a part of our research. If you would like to donate, you can go do so at our page experiment.com/sloths, where you can also learn more about this research and ask us any questions you have. Please feel free to share this video on social media with friends and family and let them know about the project. And thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much if you choose to donate. And thank you for deciding to be a part of our research. Bye.